Hey, welcome to our webinar, how to maximize your lead flow with Google Ads and Facebook pay-per-click. We're just going to jump right into it and talk about primarily what you want to focus on first when it comes to paid search or paid online directories or even brand marketing. So we want to focus primarily within Google Ads, local service ads, and retargeting, and now Facebook ads is now the top of what we're recommending. So you want to focus your energy here on the paid search and then get into paid social a little bit later, and then make sure that you can roll in pay-per-lead directories. This is a much more expensive way to generate leads within the paid directories, Angie's List or Yelp, Nextdoor, things like that. I wouldn't recommend getting into that. So long as you've got the other revenues dialed in, you'll probably find that the cost per lead is less within Facebook, and then it incrementally gets higher within Google Ads, and then paid lead directories. So want to focus in on what your foundation should look like. Okay, so the first thing you've got to make sure that's in place is your organic foundation. That means you have a good website. It's got all of the proper conversion tactics on there, which is you got pictures of your team, you have your Google reviews, you have your client testimonials, you have your phone number, your forms, everything properly dialed in, detailed pages for generator installation, generator service, detailed pages for what you do and where you do it. This is the most important thing to have in place, is your website, your Google profile, and reviews. Those three things all set up, that's your foundation. Once your foundation is set up, you want to layer in your paid search. Now we can start going after putting money behind some effort and some ads. Set up some paid search with Google profile. You could set up your local service ads, you can set up Facebook ads, and even YouTube ads if you've got some video. After that, make sure that you've got retargeting built in. So retargeting is basically just ads that appear on a prospect screen, on their social feeds, mobile phones, things like that, after they've already clicked on one of your links or after they visited your website. So what I'm going to show you when we get into some reports is you'll see 1,000 clicks on an ad, but only 60 or 70 actual leads come through. So those other 930 leads that come in, we want to make sure that they're still continuing to see your content. So that's where remarketing comes in. Remarketing will grab them and target them once they visited your website. This way, it's not just kind of all over the place, but we want to make sure that we're dialed into the people that are clicking and looking. And they'll continue to see your ads for weeks on end. So those are the three most important pieces. Make sure you have your foundation dialed in, and then start layering the paid search. And the simplest ones, the most effective ones to start with. After that, you can get into paid directories, pay-per-lead directories like Angie's List and that kind of thing. And then you can get into brand marketing, which is mostly offline, whether it be radio ads or direct mail, things like that. Okay, so that's your hierarchy. That's kind of where you need to start. I'm going to get into how to set all of this up. Okay, so local service ads, this is what comes up at the very top. You might see it says Google guaranteed. That means that Google is backing the company that's on there. So if anything goes sideways, Google is actually going to cover like $5,000 on the project for the customer. So this is like a very worthwhile setup for you. Primarily for companies that do a little bit more than just generators. So the pros and cons of this is it's great for electricians that also do generators. It's not great for just generators only, generator dealers only. So the way that local service ads is set up by categories, and there's only one category for generators. It's under the electrician category. It's called Restore Power. So the pros of it is if you're an electrician, there's a lot of categories to choose from: outlet, rewiring, panel upgrades, lighting, recessed lighting, outdoor lighting, things like that you can kind of run these local service ads where, and you get top search, right? So with Restore Power only, we have actually not seen the ads show for Restore Power. It has local service ads has an AI automated lead verification. So Google is actually listening to these calls, listening to the voicemails, and verifying those leads for you. So you don't have to go in and verify them on your own. Google is going to charge you based on that. That's also a negative. you have to manually train the algorithm, right? So as leads get charged, as Google charges your leads, you have to go in, rate the lead, good, better, bad, whatever, and give a description, and then maybe Google will refund you or charge you, or give you a chargeback on that lead, or maybe they won't. In some cases, you kind of have to pay for this in the beginning just to train the algorithm, and then it does eventually get better, but we've seen you got to kind of give it like 2 months to really start to see it take effect. So you see, this is a dashboard of a client's leads. As you can see, Google charges you. They actually tag down that they charge you for the leads that come in. What you have to do is you have to click on the actual lead and then click that rate this lead link. So you can rate the lead, and then you select very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, dissatisfied, give a description, and you are effectively training the algorithm. Okay, so it's a low cost per lead. So if you look at the data that Google gives you at $1,100, 36 charged leads, if those leads actually turned into business, it is a high conversion rate on those leads. And if they actually turn into business, we're looking at $31 per lead. Now, it is a mixed bag of leads, some electrical, some rewiring, some ceiling fan installation, maybe a generator installation here and there. Definitely something to play with, something to put on there, because it is the top ranking result on Google for Google Guaranteed. It's got that little green checkbox. Very important that you do that, especially if you're an electrician or if you're doing HVAC or anything like that in addition to your generators. It would be good to set up. And I wouldn't totally dismiss it for generator dealers only, because it might work, but it'll also give you that top positioning, and it will help everything else. Google Ads. So we talk about Google Ads, and those are the sponsored ads that appear at the very top of Google search results, under the Google Guaranteed. Why some Google campaigns fail, some agencies that don't really understand the generator industry too much, or if they don't do ads. Some agencies just do web development, design, SEO, that kind of thing. They'll get into ads. Maybe they're not experts at it. You need to be an expert in ads to effectively run ads. So sometimes they fail to understand the generator industry and its auction process. So you have to understand kind of what the keywords are, what the metrics are, what a standard cost per lead is. They typically set up one ad group and they link it all to your homepage. So this is another reason why it might fail. And they don't use specific text ads and landing pages for groups of keywords. So very important that all gets taken care of. And there's no real strong call to action or offer on the landing page. So you have to land, a Google search ad should land on a custom landing page that has a special form with your offers and your testimonial, social proof, no navigation. We just want them to do the one thing when they get there. And I'll give you an example of some good landing pages. So yeah, you can't just have one ad group and have it all linked to your homepage. This is just not an effective way to do it. I'm going to get into exactly why. And when we review, and when you review your ads, when you review your spend, your overall digital marketing spend, you want to look at everything, the whole picture, right, on a monthly basis. So see, 75 leads came in for this particular customer. How much came out of their pocket for those 75 leads, and what that number is on a regular basis. $88 per lead, not terrible. That's kind of like a really a solid cost per lead for generator industries. And we're looking at 36 installs, 5 commercial leads, 34 service, and these are the different channels that they came in from. Right, the majority coming in from the maps, and then 18 from the organic, and then 23 from the ads. So it's important to know that the maps is bringing in the majority of leads. Brings us back to that organic foundation. Build into your website, build on your Google Maps, get your reviews. Most important aspect. This way, when there are storms, when there are issues, people are going to search and they're going to find you because you have your SEO dialed in. But we want to drill into the Google Ads. So we can see a total spend of $2,500 bucks, a cost per conversion $110.04 for the 23 conversions. This is also a pretty good cost per lead for Google Ads anyway, also because the conversion rate is much higher, it's like 40-50%. Not like your power play leads that are coming in from the Generac portal, which are like 5 or 10% or even less. These are much more targeted to people actually searching, looking for you. So these are converting much higher. So here's how to set up the structure of the Google pay-per-click marketing. We're going to start with, how your landing page should look. But actually, I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. Make sure that you've got conversion tracking in there. Phone number tracking, and your form tracking, and the actual conversion tracking hooked up with Google Analytics and Google Ads. Very important, so you know what kind of conversions you're getting from your spend. You don't want to just spend $3,000 or $5,000 and hope you get some business, and maybe you'll do it again, maybe you won't. You want to make sure that you're tracking every single penny. Campaign has to be broken into smaller ad groups, right? Targeting various services that you're providing, and your text ads have to match what the person's typing. So the person might be typing house generator or power for my home, or things like that. They're not going to type the actual home standby generator search terms. They might do a variation of that. Make sure you've got a strong understanding of the keyword match types. I'm going to go through that in a minute, and make sure you don't forget about negative keywords. And what the customer typed and entice them to click on your versus the competition. So want to look at what the competition might be doing too. So do some Google searching, find out what the ads are, make your ads better. Leverage ad extensions, make your ads stand out on the page a little bit, right? So mycompany.com/generator installations, that kind of thing. You have to land visitors on a solid, well thought out page on your site that is built to convert. So I'm going to show you examples of that. And ongoing split testing, tweaking, fine tuning. Definitely don't set it and forget it. Every single month, look at your ads, look at the performance, look how things are shaping up. Look at the locations of your leads and where the leads are coming in from. Or maybe you have to tighten up your location. Maybe you can't go out and do an estimate 100 miles away. So maybe tighten up your location, bring it into maybe 20 miles in your area, or pick specific towns. That might help narrow down and target your audience. We're going to run 3 campaigns. One for Google Search. That's a Google Search campaign. The next one is for Performance Max campaign, and the next one is remarketing. So just going back to Google Search real quick. These are the ads that you can target, set your targets and your locations, but this is the one that goes after your keywords. So this is where you want to focus your keywords and your attention. Standby generator, home standby generator, generator for home, things like that. These are the keywords that you're tracking and that you want your ads to appear for. So when people are doing searches, whatever search you feel like that they're searching, you want your ads to show, you want them to click, you want them to call and fill out the form. These are, like I said, the higher cost per lead. So these are the $100, $150, $200 per lead, depending on your market, depending on your area. It could be much less, depending on how well you've got the keywords dialed in. Give it 2 weeks, and your ads should have done a lot of learning by then. Performance Max is kind of like a Facebook campaign. It's kind of putting your ads everywhere throughout the internet, even YouTube, MSN.com, Yelp, and all these other places, including Google. But it doesn't allow you to target keywords. This is an AI generated ad campaign. It's going to use the content on your landing page and your website with the content on your ads, and it's going to make the best assessment. This is a much less cost per lead because it's kind of throwing it out everywhere, but it's also a lower conversion rate. So we can see anywhere between $20 a lead to $50 a lead, depending on, like I said, depending on the market. And then remarketing, always a must, always on your list. Remarketing has to be on there. This is how people will continue to see your content and your ads after they've already visited. Like I said, cost per lead on a Google search campaign is $150 plus. Performance Max could be as low as $15 a month, $15 per lead, and then remarketing is practically free because you've already gotten their attention, and then you hit them again later, a day later, 2 weeks later, and they're clicking into your ads. So your search campaign will be broken into smaller groups, targeting the various services that you provide, so that your text ads match what the person has typed. So generator installs, Generac or Kohler, generator service and repair, generator maintenance. These are the campaigns within each of those ad types. And you want to have an ad group for each one of these. And And make sure you have a strong understanding of the keyword search types, okay? So when we get into keyword search types, there's something called a broad match. So for broad match, this is kind of like asking Google to say, hey, whatever says Generac generator, we want them to come to our ads. And this is just a broader setup. So if somebody's looking for a Generac service or Generac specific, or if they've been searching for Generac, this is the broad type that will bring up your ads. But important to watch those, because those broad match can also bring up a lot of portables, and even some other types of generators that you guys don't service or manage. So important to keep an eye on those. That's just an example. The second one is a phrase match. So generator installation, or install generator, or install house generator. So that's a phrase match. So Google will kind of use that phrase and kind of mix up the words, and however somebody searches it, they'll keep it much tighter. And then there's the exact match. So exact match on home, standby, generator, we want you to come up whenever somebody searches exactly those words. And then the negative key terms too. So we want to keep an eye on what the search terms are within the account on a daily basis, especially in the beginning, daily. So if somebody's searching a Sportsman 3500 watt generator, we want to set that as negative. We want to set that up as a negative, exclude that as a phrase match, so that Google knows, and then the algorithm starts to learn that you don't have nothing to do with portable generators or Sportsman. But standby generator install, we want to keep that on there and not even worry about that. But the negative key terms, very important to keep on track on that and make sure that your list is always a tight, small list of generator installation, generator maintenance key terms within your ad groups. So you need to write compelling text ads that resonate with your customer. Whatever they're typing, entice them to click on you versus the competition. Like I said, look at your ads, your competition's ads, make your ads better. And make your landing page better too. Look at their landing page, see where they're sending you, and make sure your landing page is better. The landing page will also help the quality score on your ads. So get rid of the navigation, you don't need it. You just need to have the conversion tactics, your team's picture, your location, what you do, where you do it, the form, the phone number, maybe a promotion, whether you're running the 10-year warranty, the free 10-year warranty for Kohler, or you're running a 0% down, 0% financing for the Generac, whatever promotion you might be running, make sure that is on the ad too. That helps pull them over the line, right, and get them to fill out that form or call. And then again, remarketing is a must. Set that up and make sure that everything's running on the remarketing end. Facebook ads. Okay, so you've probably seen a lot of these Facebook ads running right now, especially within competitors' Facebook ads. They're doing really well, and there is a reason for that. It's when time is slow, business is slow, and people aren't exactly searching. When it hasn't been a storm in 4 years, they may not be thinking, we need to get a generator, so let's just do a search. So they're not doing that. But if you put the ads in front of them, yes, we need to do that. Forward that to my wife, or forward that to my husband. We have to do that. We have to do the generator. We got to get that installed because something's going to happen at some point, and people know this, right? So getting these ads out there and putting it in front of people when they're not looking could be very beneficial. The cost per lead we have seen very, very low in the 20s. And bringing in 60 plus leads on a monthly basis. And running them with Facebook too. All you have to do is upload a multitude of images, preferably your team and some of your own installs. And then Facebook will actually create the multiple ads for you. They create a Meta Instagram ad, they create a Facebook ad, they create a music with video ad, they create the little ad that appears at the bottom of a reel that you might be watching in the middle of the night. All happens within the Facebook Meta business. A few things why Facebook ad campaigns fail. Poor ad copy. If the ad copy is just like, hey, get a generator here, generators for sale, click and go. It's just not great. So you want to talk to your target about the struggles for power loss. Don't be afraid to write a whole thing. Just make sure it's detailed. Landing page issue, poor design, slow load time can lead to lost conversions. Very true. Make sure your landing page, just like with Google, is built nicely. It's got all the conversion tactics, got your team, got your offers and everything right there on it, and you'll start to see some leads coming in. And poor budgeting. Spending too much will not give the algorithm time to learn. So I recommend you set up your Facebook ad campaigns. You run it at $20 a day and check in on a weekly basis. And in 2 weeks, you can ramp it up to $40, $50 a day and see how that goes. But you can overspend. So I recommend keeping it to $50 a day. Run it for a month, 2 months. See how your leads come in. Make sure you're tweaking with your locations, and then you can bring your spend a little up depending on how well you're doing. And then not tracking conversions properly. Again, use that Facebook pixel on your thank you page. That's one thing that I wanted to mention, is that you need to have a thank you page. So after somebody fills out the form, redirect you to a thank you page so that Facebook can read that pixel and report on your conversion. So structuring these Facebook campaigns, conversion tracking is a must, right? So on that thank you page has the pixel. Facebook will then be able to show you how many conversions you have, how much spend you've spent, the demographics of those ads, and all of those details. So very important. You have to make sure that you are tracking conversion. Properly set up your ad account within your Facebook portfolio. So I'm going to show you a graphic that shows you how the portfolio is set up, but a lot of companies do this wrong. Important to go to Meta Business Suite, set up your company name, use the portfolio, use an ad account, and create ads within the Ads Manager from Facebook. Create the campaign for leads. When you go to create campaign, you want to select leads. It's a whole bunch of other stuff. Audience, traffic, whatever you want leads. This helps Facebook understand what your goal is and help you get to that. You need to write compelling ad copy again, resonate with people and the homeowners, talk about their needs during a power loss. Use simple targeting. A 40-mile radius is fine, a 20-mile radius. You could also use the towns or zip codes that you want to show up in, but make sure it's enough. Facebook will tell you if it's enough or it's not. You have to land visitors on that solid landing page. It's like the fourth time I mentioned it. Ongoing split testing, you can run these through Facebook. You can create multiple ads with multiple images in several different A/B testing scenarios. So here's the Facebook campaign structure, just so you know and you can see how this is structured. You want to set your objective, which is for leads. You have your campaign. And then within the campaign are your ad sets. That's where you set your prospecting or your Google leads, generator leads or generator maintenance leads, installs maintenance. And then within installs, you have multiple ads within each one. So generator maintenance,